This police chief uniform was worn by Chief Larry Veldheer, who served Zeeland from 1952 to 1957 as patrolman and a sergeant, and as chief of police from 1957 to 1992. The fire department, the police station in City Hall, and the police chief's home were all three outfitted with these units. Frequencies connected them with both city and county agencies. This turnout gear was worn by volunteer firefighter Tom Sparky Wenzel, who served Zeeland from 1990 to 2009. Prior to the 20th century, a woman with straight hair who desired curls had to spend hours heating curling irons over a flame or sleep with rags and pins in her hair in order to achieve waves. But beginning in the early 1930s, women born with flat locks saw new hope, the new permanent wave machine. Frank's began in 1924 as a fruit and confectionery store, owned and operated by the Dionese family. Over time, it evolved into a full-scale family restaurant. It is Main Street's most popular breakfast and lunch spot, boasting the best burgers around. For over 100 years, clockmaking has been a thriving industry in Zeeland. As early as 1899, John Spiker started small grandfather clock manufacturing operation in Zeeland. Shoemaker Shoes was operated many years by John Shoemaker and his son Marvin. This location on the north side of Maine was also Groendyke Shoes at one time.
Nice.
Over 100 years ago, the Zeeland Record was not the only game in town. Adrian Van Covering, at the age of 19, started his own print shop on the north side of Main Street with a $50 loan from his uncle, Jacob Denherter, a local banker. Hendrik Henry B. Van Dyke, who was an immigrant from the Netherlands, served during the American Civil War. The lists of names on this wall identify all veterans buried in the Zeeland Cemetery and national cemeteries or abroad. Gordon Eintema, Vietnam War veteran and Congressional Medal of Honor recipient, Eintema was wounded in action October 27, 1967, and killed in action the following January. He was awarded posthumously for the heroism that he displayed in combat. This German helmet was mailed home just as you see it today, from one brother to another. This wooden desk belonged to Do B. Eintema, professor of chemistry and physics in 1893 at Hope College. Mrs. Edna Dupree, a dedicated and generous member of the Zeeland Historical Society, gave the museum a marvelous collection of dolls, which she handcrafted and authentically dressed in 19th century costumes representing 11 Dutch provinces. In 1970, she toured the Netherlands, where she researched traditional apparel and fabrics. She examined and photographed authentic Dutch costumes in numerous museums. Then she purchased the Dutch fabrics, laces, jewelry, baskets, and miniature tulips she needed for her project. The 1718 Staten Bible belonged to Reverend Tied van der Ark. In 1893, Dr. George Bart began his general medicine practice in Grand Rapids, Michigan, in his home and office at 647 Canal Street, now Monroe. Soon after that, he moved his office to the Kendall Building, where he continued to practice until 1954. Catherine DeVos Bart married Clarence F. Ramsey in 1923, and to that union was born two sons, Bart Eldon Ramsey and Dr. G. Craig Ramsey. This baby's rocking chair is made of wood and painted as a pair of Scotty dogs. There are 40 pieces in this handmade dollhouse, including miniature furniture, dishes, and people. Our antique, easy stowaway croquet set was produced in the early 1900s. This Bronco was made of pressed steel in England. When you hop up and down on the pedals, the horse moves forward on its wheels. The doctor's office started because Dr. Ben Nijkamp asked us if we wanted his father's examining table. Dr. Russell Nijkamp delivered lots of Zeeland babies during the 1930s to 1950s. His wife, Irva, was a registered nurse, and they delivered many babies at the house. Her bag is in that room. When she gave it to us herself, it was still packed, ready to go. Also, the glass slides for blood came from him and are in the house, as well as other things. Dr. John Masselink was born into a family of 8 children just a few miles south of Zeeland in 1877. He received his medical degree in 1904 at the age of 27, married, and established a practice on Main Street in downtown Zeeland. He served this and outlying communities for 38 years. The lady of the house would have relaxed here, read a book, or done a little mending or fancy work. The chair has been reupholstered. On the dresser is Grace Masselink's monogrammed celluloid dresser set, which includes a nail buffer, perfume holder, hair receiver, powder box, comb, brush, and hand mirror. Celluloid was a forerunner of today's plastic.